Okay, so I give you, it's Joe or Ho?
Joe.
Zhou Sól, the director of Armogan. Maybe before we go into specific questions from myself and from the audience, first I want to say that I'm very pleased to meet you, not in person, but in Zoom person. I remember that we were planning maybe to meet in Barcelona.
Yes.
And I will start with the question of you telling about yourself a little bit, because I think your artistic enterprises are extending the realms of filmmaking. And I want to tell the audience that I watched your film in Tallinn Film Festival, and I was moved deeply.
Thank you.
I thought a film that I don't know, is doula an international word for someone who helps to give birth to babies? Doula is an international name for someone who helps people to make a film about a doula that makes goes with people towards their departing the world is something incredible. So please tell us a little bit about yourself. What are you doing?
It is difficult to frame me somewhere, because actually I'm a quite curious guy, and my interests, they are very, very diverse, and it's changing all the time. Basically, I'm trying to move in the social issues, in the political issues, but at the same time I have some approach to the anthropological and ethnographic techniques of observance. I think one of the characteristics of my method, it's about to be very very aware and very patient on the representation of what we want to recreate in fiction or to represent in documentaries. So I can define myself with this observer, this kind of voyeur, this kind of intellectual, experimental, more than intellectual, human being that is moved for some of the basic of the experience to be human.
An observer.
An observer, yes.
Okay, so I will ask the first question about the film, and then we will ask the audience. Those of you who want to ask questions, they will come here, take my stand, and we'll talk to Joe directly and present their question. So prepare your questions, and then I will ask you on stage if you want to. So I really want to ask about how you thought or came to this idea. What was interesting for you to deal with this topic? Again, it's not usual. In short, the elaboration of the script of the film.
I think all my films talks about the subject matter of my work. It's about life. And there is a question there. It's we really are living, or we just are trying to grab this will to live. For me, this sense of this will to live, it's something that is very central on what I'm working. I'm very influenced by a close friend and a quite well-known philosopher from Barcelona, which is Santiago López Petit, and his work turns around this idea, of this will to live. There does not exist, or it's very obvious to talk about what is life, or we are living. I think it's much more appropriate to rethink on this idea of what life is. So all my works are turns around this idea, all the same idea. By some kind of events of my life, that as the death of my father, I were close to make the same question, but in the end of life. If I'm thinking about what is life, I need to in this moment of my life, which is my father departure, it's rethink of this this need to be open, to be available, to be aware of all these revealing circumstances of life in the moment of death. This is how the project starts, and from there I can introduce some of the experience of people that I met who works on palliative works, who accompany of life, this kind of ending of life doulas that I met in my life. Traditionally, I have to say that in the Mediterranean, we have this tradition of people who do these works on different cultures of the Mediterranean. So for me, it was very easy to find the place where nature and where the real culture can express easily and in a very natural way this character and his reality.
And so you say that there are actual people in Spain today that do this job?
Not actually, because as you know, church and science from one point in the story take this responsibility, no, to take care of these last moments. But traditionally, some of the communities in the upside of the Pyrenees and some of the communities of some islands where there is not exist this possibility to have this kind of assistance, the community themselves organize some kind of groups, the people who take care of the bodies, who take care of the rituals, who take care of the last days of these people. And we have an account of this. And in the place that I said this fiction is called Las Cofradías. So actually I can get some real accounts of people who do this job in the real life.
Okay, thank you. Someone wants to ask a question, please? Something about, all right, I will continue. Yes? Yes? Okay, so let's, I will continue. I want to ask you about your interest in opposites, which reflects in many ways in the film. First, it's black and white. Maybe you would like to elaborate why you decided to do the film in black and white. And then, of course, it's the conflict between youth and old, between death and life, of course, and between movement and not possibility to move, between being strong and being very weak, between being completely dependable and independent. So if you want to elaborate about this a little bit, it would be nice.
I really appreciate this kind of wise interpretation of what I said on this fiction. Actually, when we talk about black and white, it's not that dualistic conception. It's much more about no time. This no time, no space. For me, it was very important to start this film with blurring this idea of time. Where is set? In which time of the history is set this film? For me, from here came this idea of universality. This idea of it's something that it happened in the past, and it's something that it will happen in the future, and it's happening now. So for me, the idea of the black and white creates this sense of no time, no. And but in the other hand, you are so right, no. For me, this tension between oppositions, binary opposition, it's something that collides in a kind of an answer, of a possible answer that goes beyond this binary opposition, that transcend in somewhere else. That there is no reason, no one has the right explanation of what is beside or beyond or back this mystery. But yes, you're right, that there is a need to confront visions, no? And this creates a kind of very organic tension between the symbolic representation and the actual characters. So I'm start from this binary opposition, but usually I don't take part for one of them. I try to find somewhere that all these opposition explodes and create a new possibilities.
Would you define your film as a Christian film or a pagan film?
Thank you so much. One of the I got this we got this award in Tallinn from the ecumenic, and this is something that I'm very I should to be proud, no, because it's like
explain the audience that the economical jury is
yes
appointed by the Christian church.
Exactly, it's what I was thinking about Pasolini with his gospel of what from his Marxist background, what he should thought, no, in that moment. From Tarkovsky is much more easy to imagine, no, but I mean from Pasolini it's quite okay, and for me it was formidable. But it was great to get this sense to embrace some vision, some sensibilities beyond the materialistic imposition of what life is, no? Or I think I'm not a religious person, but I think I'm really sensible about other possibilities beyond the materialistic realm. There is a lot of mysteries out there. There is a lot of needs to be understood. Our experience of life, experience of death, experience of love that cannot be set in the real restrictive and narrow framework of the materialistic reality. I need some space for mystery.
Could you speak a little bit? Yes. Oh, question. What do you want me to ask about it? What? Why sheep? Why sheep? Tell us more about the sheep.
About what?
Sheep, about the sheep. Why
nice.
Okay.
First of all, I have to say that I know after this film it's not easy to express something and in questions, no, because the film itself is a big question, and I respect the silence of the audience, so I'm completely okay when the people don't want to ask after the presentation. Sometimes it's a little bit tense, or but for me in this particular film there is something that needs this silence as something positive. Concerning to the ships. There is, of course, a symbolic dimension of this animal. No, we can find in Bible, we can find in many other cultures, in many other representations of not only about sacrifice, not only about the group, not only about this belonging to the community, as they can be used to be represented symbolistically. There is something on its participation as an actor, as an actress of this film, that it was very, very seductive for me. Nature should talk in this film. Nature should create, if it's a movie that don't want to give close questions, close answers. So we need to open questions through the nature. And animals are part of this nature. And of course, there's another kind of animals, of insects, that also works very nicely in the film, in the narrative, in some parts of the film. The ships, they are very important. No? And there is this idea is in the way that we are paid. We are living, we are helping to a life gone. At the same time, they are paid by a ship, no? And this is growing, no? And this idea of continuity, this idea of transformation, this idea of recycling, this idea of the continuity, it's should to be said on nature, and animals in this side is a part of nature.
I thought my next question was going to be about intimacy.
Nice.
There is a lot of intimacy in the film, especially between the two men.
Mm-hmm.
And there's almost some erotic side to it, which of course doesn't have to be homosexuality. It's simply this strong physical connection. And also on this aspect, of course, it's with the sheep. And for me, I asked myself while watching the film, why is the doula, let's call him like that, or Armogan, he is having this physical connection also with the sheep. And then I thought about that when he is with the sheep, he is almost on the same level with the sheep. I mean, he's not such inferior in a way than with a strong guy who helps him, who carries him on the same level when he's, crawling, and he's on eye level with the sheep. So he gets the two to be someone who makes the connection not between life and death only, but between animals and men.
Yes, if you are familiar with the Portuguese poetry, the Portuguese poet Alberto Caeiro. Alberto Caeiro is one of the heteronames of Fernando Pessoa. In the poetry of Fernando Pessoa, you could find some different names, different characters who work by his own hand, no? And one of them is a shepherd, which is called Alberto Caeiro, no? And he says something that is very important in this film, and it's something that accompanies a lot in this. I have write it everywhere, and I am still working on this idea, no? The idea is, Alberto Caeiro say, the shepherd says, I'm not a poet by my own decision. It's my only way to be in dialogue with myself. It's my only way to be alone with myself, no? For me, Armogan, his wisdom come from this observation of nature, for this contact with nature, for this intimacy with nature, no? And the experience of the body, of the broken body, and the need to help, and the need to be supported by somebody else is this idea of nature as well, no? The experience of his body, of his existence, his observation, and his need of support. For me, it's one of the basics of to be in this artistic and symbolic dialogue with yourself. This is the poetry of life, to be aware about your needs and all needs.
Okay. Any other question before I ask my last question? Okay. Can you hear me, Joe?
Yes.
Okay, Joe, because you froze for a second in our screen. Okay, I would like to ask you about maybe something obvious, but and you talked about it a little bit before, about this place in the Pyrenees. I saw a few years ago a film about the making of a Buñuel film about this community that lives somewhere in Spain, something with the tortugas. I can't remember exactly the name. And I thought it is like an animation film recounting.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
You know what I'm talking about. So
completely.
Yeah, I was wondered watching your films if there are still places so remote that like froze in time in a Western country, because I must tell you that in Israel, unfortunately, we don't have anything like that. In Israel, if you can't get lost. If you get lost, you will be found. Don't worry. Either you'll get to the border or to an enemy or to the camp of the army, or I don't know, something like this. So to be in such remoteness place where, you know, this maybe I want to close it with the end of the film, which is pretty intriguing for me. Your decision to end like this, the film, it is a little bit abstract. Not because, you know, you have all these people which don't know if they are alive or death or the witness to life or death, but because the look is a little bit critical in the end. That's what I felt. So this travel, your travel to the end of the world is also maybe traveling into the void. I don't know. Maybe you can say a few words about that.
Wow, there's a lot of things there, no? First of all, I have to say that I want to come to Israel. For me, it's very important. So I hope you remind me. This year I cannot come, but I hope very, very soon I can come again to Haifa.
Your next project.
And yeah, please, because I know you say that there is no place in Israel, and it's one of the most mysterious and more essential places where you can get lost culturally, autarkically. You know, you should go very deep, no, as a part of the civilization that we share, no. And for me it's crucial, no. And I have to say something, no. And now in Mallorca, in a very special part. Probably you know about Mallorca because it's a very crowded, touristic place. But you can find places like this. You can find places like a very, very local and very, very mysterious and very, very genuine. No? For me, to work with the reality of the place, to be involved with these local characters, and from there start to create this fiction. So a fiction that I know what it is, and I have to write it, but I need to find it. I need to find the fiction that I have in a real place. I need to find the context and make it grow from there. No? And this is something that for me is very exciting and very interesting way of working, to be part of this nature, to be completely involved and embrace the local reality there. Erase from there to rise the fiction. No? It is a very anthropological. Maybe it comes from my formation as a visual anthropologist, but yeah, for me the place and what I create with the people is something really important. So, in the end of the film, what you are watching is my relationship with the people of the place. And the performance that you saw at the end is how they face death. And you have different expressions of how, with no words. There's some kind of transcendental position to this. Someone is need to hide themselves. Someone they're crying. Someone they're smiling. Someone I create this with them, no? And I cannot put it like as a characters inside my drama, because my drama is very specific. But I really will to have this experience of the sense of my drama in a performance that closed the film. Maybe if you don't see in this ending of the film Armogan alive in the representation, maybe it's not that hard for you to integrate this on my storytelling. No? And yeah, it's very disruptive to see Armogan at the end watching the camera and facing yourself. No? Mm-hmm. But apart of this, the rest, for me, the meaning is very clear, and it's this relationship between the local reality and this experience of my subject matter, which is how we face life and death. You know? The decision to put Armogan in this is a little bit more complex, and it's about how we create this fiction, how we create this representation of how we present these characters as a characters, no? As someone who salute the audience. No, we create this relationship that there is an audience, and this was a fiction, but this is a fiction that changed something from your view of life. This is something that brings you something, that it was an experience that brings you something. This is what I try to give time to process this silence at the end of the film.
All right. Joe, thank you very much for joining us live.
Thank you so much too.
Thank you, of course, for making the film. Let's give him yes, of course, we will be very happy to have you in your physical, ethereal, materialistic form here with your next project. Thank you.
Nice. Thank you.